Love is presented to us as the highest human experience, as destiny, as meaning, as the force that gives life value. But Arthur Schopenhauer saw love from a colder and far more disturbing angle. To him, love is not a romantic miracle. It is a biological strategy disguised as choice. When a person falls in love, he believes he has finally found himself. The world feels sharper, warmer, and suddenly meaningful. But Schopenhauer argues that this feeling is not proof of truth. It is proof of deception. At that moment, reason steps aside, and something deeper takes control. The individual is no longer choosing, he is being chosen. According to Schopenhauer, what we call love is the will of the species speaking through the individual. Attraction is not random. Desire is not poetic. Every emotional obsession follows a hidden calculation related to health, strength, balance, and reproduction. You do not love the person. You love what that person represents for the continuation of life itself. This is why love feels overwhelming, irrational, and uncontrollable. Because it is not meant to be gentle. It is meant to be effective. The mind exaggerates the qualities of the beloved, distorts reality and suppresses doubt, not because you are foolish, but because the illusion must be strong enough to overpower reason. In love, people do not see reality. They see necessity disguised as destiny. Flaws are minimized. Contradictions are justified. Warnings are ignored. Truth becomes a threat because truth weakens desire. Schopenhauer explains that love demands blindness to survive. Clarity kills passion. So the mind cooperates with illusion, not against it. The person is not stupid. He is obedient to a force older and more powerful than himself. But the illusion cannot last forever. Once the goal is achieved or the intensity fades, the spell begins to break. Reason slowly returns, and suddenly the person who once felt irreplaceable feels ordinary. Sometimes irritating, sometimes disappointing. This is the second shock. Why did the feeling change? Why did passion disappear? Why does love feel heavy now? Schopenhauer's answer is merciless. Because love was never designed to make you happy. It was designed to make you act. Once the action is completed, the illusion is no longer needed. This is why so many relationships collapse into boredom or conflict. Not because the people are bad, but because they were united by a temporary illusion, not by lasting harmony. What brought them together was desire. What remains afterward is reality. For Schopenhauer, suffering is not an accident in love. It is its natural consequence. Desire by nature is endless. If it is fulfilled, it creates boredom. If it is denied, it creates pain. Love is the strongest desire of all. Therefore, it produces the greatest suffering. This leads to a disturbing conclusion. Happiness is not the purpose of love. If it happens, it is accidental, temporary, fragile. Does this mean love is entirely false? Schopenhauer does not deny attachment or affection. He denies the myth. He rejects the idea that love exists for human fulfillment. It exists for survival. The wise individual, in Schopenhauer's view, is not the one who denies emotion, but the one who understands its nature, who observes desire instead of drowning in it, who recognizes attraction as impulse, not destiny. At this point, the question changes. Instead of asking, "Why doesn't love last?" one begins to ask, "How was I deceived so completely?" And that question marks the beginning of awareness. Schopenhauer does not teach cruelty. He teaches clarity. He does not tell you to reject love. He tells you to remove its false holiness. When love is no longer worshipped, it loses its power to destroy. It becomes something you experience, not something you build your entire life around. You feel it. You acknowledge it. But you do not surrender your identity to it. In this understanding, Schopenhauer finds a strange form of freedom. Not a joyful freedom, but an honest one. Because awareness does not promise comfort. It promises truth. And truth, even when painful, is less destructive than illusion. If you feel that this perspective explains your past relationships, your sudden disillusionments, your emotional crashes, then understand this. You were not weak. You were human. You obeyed a force designed to overpower reason. Recognizing this does not end love. It ends naivety. And if you want to continue exploring the dark mechanics of desire, suffering, and illusion through the eyes of Schopenhauer and other ruthless thinkers, subscribe to this channel, because what comes next will not comfort you. It will clarify you.